Welcome everyone. Welcome to today's Warrior Wednesday webinar. My name is Connie Wilson. I'm an admissions counselor at the University of Hawaii Manoa. I work in the admissions office, and I am joined by our very special guest to be able to put on these 6-part series for the webinars dedicated to helping students register for classes and getting them acquainted with their advisors, figuring out majors, and just navigating that whole thing, what to do after they're getting accepted. So this is the last part of the advisor series, but we do have other webinars that are continuing on as they are a continued series. But today we are joined by some special guests. So I'll go ahead and introduce our first guest, Leilani. Leilani works in the Mānoa Advising Center, and she's one of the advisors. Very special thank you to Leilani because she will be assisting me with answering all of your questions in the Q&A portion. So to go over a bit of house rules before our other two guests introduce themselves, if you have any questions at any time, go ahead and click on the Q&A button on the bottom of your navigation panel on Zoom, and you can type in any questions that you have. We'll be answering them during the presentation, and we will also have a designated Q&A time where I will read out the question and then the appropriate advisor will answer the question. So if you have a specific question, feel free to ask them. If it's really specific, because this is being recorded, we might have to say, contact us on the side or email, so we can always navigate that way. But if you have questions, please ask them because this is the perfect time. This is real life, real people, so feel free to ask your questions. Yeah, Diana, if you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Diana Thompson. I'm an academic advisor, also from the Mānoa Advising Center. So Leilani is my coworker, and I'll explain more about what we do at the Mānoa Advising Center later on in this presentation. Next is Martin.
Hello, my name is Martin Motoka. I'm one of 3 academic advisors within Setar, and I also will be covering that next or now.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and share screen, and we'll actually be talking about exploring other majors. So if you're not sure about your major, this is a perfect webinar for you.
Okay, so what is Setar? It's a great question. Setar is the college for all of you. Next. No, I'm just kidding. Setar stands for the College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources. We are the founding college for UH Mānoa, and therefore the entire UH system. And next slide. And so within our college, we offer 9 majors. And so as you can see, the majors that we do offer are pretty diverse. So really, what else could you want in your education? Okay, next slide. So the first one I'm going to briefly cover is our animal sciences. So this is a major where the coursework will cover everything from animal production to, we have a pre-vet track within this major. We do have a faculty member who is a practicing vet, who is our pre-vet advisor. So for students who are interested in going on to a veterinarian school, she would meet with you and help you plan accordingly to choose the correct prerequisites based on which schools you're applying to. But it also covers things like animal breeding, genetics, nutrition, and of course the anatomy and physiology of different types of animals. So if you weren't interested in being a vet but wanted to work with animals, this is also a good major because if you wanted to be an animal trainer, for example, or a quarantine inspector or livestock specialist, this could be a possible major for you. Okay, so the next slide is biological engineering. The coursework within this major is pretty intense. It does cover a lot of math, so calculus 1 through 4. But also what you'll learn is biosensors, bioremediation. You will do engineering design projects through this major. Possible careers would be like an ecological engineer, bioremediation specialist, or also an environmental scientist. Okay, next slide. So here I combine 2 majors into one because there is a lot of overlap between the 2. So this is our dietetics and food science and human nutrition. So if you are interested in becoming a registered dietitian, The only way to do so in our state would be to receive your bachelor's through our dietetics major. And so the dietetics program does have slightly different admission requirements. As an incoming freshman, you could not join dietetics directly because you do need to have 60 college level credits as well as specific prerequisite courses. So for the majority of our incoming freshmen or even some of our transfer students, they usually will start off with our food science and human nutrition major. And so food science and human nutrition covers the science of human nutrition. And there's really two specific pathways within that. So there's the food science side of things, where you'll cover topics such as food chemistry and food engineering, nutritional biochemistry. And then on the other side of the house, we have the human nutritionist. So like food safety, the nutrition counseling. So possible career options would be like a sports and public health nutritionist, or if you're into the food science side of things, you could be a new food product specialist. So it is quite diverse, and some students will even use this as a way of going on to as a pre-med major, because of the sciences and the supplemental coursework, such as the anatomies, the general chemistries, and biology. Okay, next slide. So we have our fashion design and merchandising, and through our FDM major, we do have two pathways, our two tracks within this. We have the design side of the house and the merchandising side. So really this major is geared for you to specialize in one of those. So if you wanted to design your own pieces, create your own clothing or fashions, then that would be the design side. But if you wanted to work in the industry and market those pieces, then that would be the merchandising. So through our college, we usually have our annual fashion production show where we combine the two, where some of our students will design the pieces and the other side will market the fashion show, that, tickets are sold to the public for that. Okay, next slide. Our largest major is our Human Development and Family Studies. And the reason for that is because HDFS covers a broad span or a diverse array of topics. And so the students that we see within this major come from all different backgrounds. And HDFS covers human development across a lifespan. So it deals with both the community and the individual. So oftentimes we'll get students that are interested in any of the medical fields. We see some of the nursing students, for example, will go to HDFS, and as well as education. So students will receive their bachelor's of science in HDFS and then can continue on to get their master's in education. So like a lot of the career opportunities from this go from being a teacher to being a social worker or a community planner. Okay, next slide. So molecular biosciences and biotechnology. Coursework within this major is heavy on the sciences, so it covers the general biology, chemistry and physics, genetics, bioinformation. So we see a lot of students will use this major to go on either into research opportunities or to go on to med school. Because within this major, there are room for electives, which will allow you to cover a lot of med school prerequisite courses. And so as you can see, the electives come from a wider range of different topics. So like from animal sciences, to chemistry, to microbiology, even our TAE program, which I'll cover soon. Okay. Possible careers would be a genetic engineer, forensics, gene therapy. Okay, so next slide. So natural resources and environmental management. This is a fast growing major as well. And within this, there's opportunity for different specializations. So if you want to learn more about the different specializations that we do have, you can go to our college website, and I'll have the website address at the end of my section of the PowerPoint. But there are two main tracks. There's a science-based track, a natural science track, and then there's also a social science track. So If you wanted to go into the research or field work, that's more of the natural science track. But if you wanted to go more into the advocacy side, that would be the social science track. Careers for this program or this major vary. So if you wanted to be a forester or environmental inspector, but we also see students that are interested in environmental law. They'll get their undergraduate degree in our NREM major. Okay, and next slide. So the last major is our tropical agriculture and the environment. So within this major, again, like NREM, this covers a vast amount of topics. So you learn everything from soil and plant science to tropical production systems, from horticulture, nutrition management, soil chemistry. And so the career opportunities for this would be federal and state regulatory agencies, pest management specialists. If you wanted to go into forensics, more of the entomologist side of things, or a horticulturalist. Okay, so next slide. And so we're a small college within a large university. So UH Manoa has, over 100 majors, and within our college, we offer 9. But one of the benefits of joining a small college such as Setar is that you get to not only know your peers and your classmates within your major, but you get to know your faculty, and we have a lot of resources set up for your success. So part of that is the scholarships that we offer. So we have over 50 scholarships valuing over $250,000. They're given out annually. Unfortunately, I believe that the scholarships for this incoming school year has passed. But if you were to join our college, then throughout about the midway point of the school year, we would notify our students when the scholarship application went up for the following school year. Yeah, next slide. So to learn more, I would encourage you to visit our website, and that's setar.hawaii.edu/UG advising. So that stands for undergraduate advising. We have both the academic advisors, and there's 3 of us. I'm one. And then each major will have faculty advisors available. So we make sure that you get coverage on both sides. We're located in Gilmore Hall. And you'll see us, or you'll know our building because we have that butterfly as the image shows there. Okay, next slide.
Okay, thank you, Martin. So now I'll be taking over to talk about what is MAC, or the Mānoa Advising Center. So to start, I'm going to talk about the Mānoa Advising Center. We have 6 different exploratory pathways. So I'm going to start here with Exploratory Business. This is our most popular pathway. And with Exploratory Business, some of the majors that you might be considering if you're in this Exploratory Business program is majors in the College of Business, like accounting, finance, entrepreneurship, management, marketing, and then also majors like travel industry management. The travel industry management major does accept students in good standing right away, so we don't have very many travel industry students in our EXP program, but the Scheidler College of Business, they have, for most students, a requirement of at least 60 college credits before they can admit. So in the meantime, while students are waiting to be admitted to Scheidler, a lot of them fall into this exploratory business category. So they're not necessarily exploratory where they don't know what they want to major in, but they're just not yet able to declare the major that they want. So that's a pretty common question that we get from students who say, oh, I put finance on my college application. Why am I in exploratory business? I'm not exploratory. I know what I want to do. So that's just to explain that piece if that's any of you. The next one is we have Exploratory Arts and Humanities. If you have a general interest in the arts, whether it be actually doing art, like art studio, learning about art history, music, theater, or maybe even humanities, like the histories and those types of topics. This also includes languages, so any non-English language or even the English major and classics majors, anything like that, that all falls into this Exploratory Arts and Humanities category. If that sounds like a general interest area of yours, but you just haven't decided exactly which major in that area to pick yet, then Exploratory Arts and Humanities is a great fit for that. We also have Exploratory Social Sciences. Social Sciences is kind of tricky to encapsulate in a picture, but I think a good thing to think about when you have an interest in social sciences, you generally have an interest in working with people or learning about people. It's a lot of like learning about, so it could be like the HDFS major that Martin talked about before, learning about people from the whole lifespan. It could also be learning about why people behave the way that they do or the culture that people have. It's also going to include things like communications, journalism, and those types of majors. It's yeah, also things like women's studies, Pacific Island studies, other types of areas. There are a lot of different possibilities for this one, and one of our most diverse categories. Next is Exploratory Health Sciences. This is another popular one that we have. So students who are interested in pursuing dental hygiene sometimes will declare Exploratory Health Sciences. Students who are interested in public health will declare Exploratory Health Sciences. If you're interested in nursing, sometimes we have some students who are considering nursing declare Exploratory Health Sciences, but nursing also has a pre-nursing program that you can just go straight into pre-nursing. And I'll explain why that would be a good idea later on in my presentation. Also, other majors that Exploratory Health Sciences would be like medical technology. So you'd be doing more like what the woman on the left is doing and doing med lab work. So yeah, those are all the health sciences. Then we also have Exploratory STEM. So this is going to be for our engineers, for our students who want to study things like life sciences, biology, microbiology, marine biology, or even things like chemistry, physics, computer science, mathematics. That's totally what this Exploratory STEM is all about. As you can see, there are a lot of different things that you can do in this track. And generally, we just want to make sure that students who are in Exploratory STEM, they're getting their math and science courses done early. So that's a big part of the programming for this major or this pathway. And then finally, for the students who they're truly, torn between so many different options, or they just aren't quite certain, that's really what our exploratory category is for. And with all 6 of these are kind of like temporary majors. So when you look at your major, it will say exploratory or exploratory, whatever category you're in, but you're not meant to graduate with this program. Really what we at the Mānoa Advising Center are trying to do is to help you find your major fit and find your home so that we can connect you with what you'd like to do. That's not something that, we come in, you meet with us and I tell you, you seem like you would be great in business, so you should go and major in business. It's not really going to work like that. Instead, we like to give you a lot of different opportunities to explore your own self and to see what you like. So one of those tools that we have is called the Advising Guide website. And so I'm going to show you really quickly what that's like. Okay, so this is the advising guide. There are a couple different ways that you can use this. You can start by looking at several different categories to see what you'd be interested in. So if I were to click on arts here, then I see a list of all of the majors that could be considered an art. And then you can also see here the plug for Exploratory Arts and Humanities down at the bottom. Let's see, if I click on fashion design and merchandising, that will take me to a page to learn all about Setar advising. So this is a way that you can get connected with the different advisors for the different majors that we have. And then you can also see all of the other majors and things that they offer down at the bottom of the page. If you want to see just everything all at once, we have Undergraduate Majors A to Z. And this helps you to see literally all of the majors and degrees that we offer here at UH Mānoa. As you can see, there's a lot, but this is a great way to just kind of, go through the list. Sometimes I have students actually print this list, and then they'll go through and they, circle the ones that they're interested in, or the ones that they're like, oh gosh, that looks so terrible. Just cross that one off. And this is a really great way to explore different options. So I highly recommend using the Advising Guide website. The address for that, someone can pop that in the chat. It's manoa.hawaii.edu/undergrad/advising. And next, we also have a couple questions sometimes that we like to have students ask themselves in their exploratory. So that could include things like, what do I enjoy doing? What am I good at? When I picture myself 10 years into the future, what do I see myself doing? What do I dislike? Because sometimes the things that we don't like doing, that also helps us to narrow down our options. And what do I hope I'm not doing? Also, sometimes we have students who are in this situation that it's like, is there a major that I'm interested in, but I don't really know what career path to pursue? And then on the flip side, is there a career that I'm interested, but I don't know what major is going to help me get there? So there's a lot of different layers to exploratory, and we help students in all of those different areas, regardless of where you're at in the process. So let me explain now the difference between an advisor like Martin and an advisor like myself. So let's say that this is Martin. And when it comes to all of the majors in the Setar college, Martin knows a lot about all of the Setar majors. He can tell you about careers that you can go into, exactly what classes you should be taking, whether it's in the fall or in the spring, and has prerequisites, and don't take this class and this class at the same time, because that's going to be a really hard load. He can tell you all of that stuff. Then there's me. Hi, I'm Diana. I'm a MAC advisor. Rather than knowing a lot about certain majors, I know like a general amount about pretty much all the majors that we have on campus. So if you're considering between several options, I can help you compare and contrast differences between those majors. I can help to tell you, like, if you'd like to learn more about this major, this is a great introductory course for you to take. But when it comes to things that are more specific than that, it's just too much information that I can fit into my brain. So if you tell me that you're interested in a CTAR major, I might say, you know what, while I can tell you a little bit about this major, it might be really great if you actually go and connect with Martin over at CTAR, because he can tell you so much more about that major than I can. And sometimes that's the pathway that the students take to end up actually declaring their major. But sometimes it's also, I talked to Martin and turns out I'm not actually as interested in that major as I thought I was. There's a lot of calculus in that one. And I'm like, yeah, that's totally fine. So we go in, back to the drawing board, we explore different options again. It's all about self-discovery, and the more information that you can collect about the different majors, that's really going to help you to make the best and most informed decision for you. And that's what we're hoping for. I'm going to do a quick plug now for this really great workshop that we have going on online right now called Summer Advising. So the Summer Advising program is something that, in an ideal situation, we would have in-person workshops for our local students, but we also have always had this online component, and we're really pushing that online component this year, especially during this time. So I would like to show you how this works. So here's the link to the website. And when we go to the Summer Advising website, you can see it's all about being Mānoa ready before day one. And we're gonna go here to the online workshop to take a look at this. So the online workshop is a series of modules. It's completely free. You just follow these directions to sign up. You pick the course that matches your descriptions, whether you're a freshman or a transfer student. You sign up using your hawaii.edu email address to create a Canvas account, and that will help you to access the content. So if I go ahead and let's click on this, and let's see, and I can enroll in the course, and it says that I'm enrolled, so now I can go to the course. And this is still the instructor view. So let's see if I can take a look at this from the student view. Let's see. There we go. All right, so this is what you as a student will see when you go into Summer Advising. And when you click here on this Let's Get Started button, it takes you to the same place as this modules link over here. And you'll see all of the workshop is just outlined module by module. Certain modules have prerequisites. So before you can do the new Rainbow Warrior checklist, you have to make sure that you go through the online workshop orientation first. So as you move through all of the different points and pieces, you eventually get to the end. On the day that we launched this workshop, I checked at the end of the day and we already had a good number of students who had already finished the entire thing. So it doesn't take very long to do. I think sometimes it's just the parts that take a long time include the worksheets and things like that, where you want to take some time to reflect on what you're wanting to do. But each module, let's take a look at this one if it will let me. Yeah, includes a video that I've created to help you navigate whatever that module is all about. And then down below the video are all of the links that I mentioned in the video as well. So you can move through piece by piece. Also, you don't have to do it all at once. So we had some students who did, but if you want to just say, I'm going to do all the modules up to transfer transcript, and then I'll take a break, go ahead and take a break. You can totally do that. Once you reach the end, you should have a general idea about how to register for classes, how to take your placement exams if you need to take them, and then also how to use that advising guide website to connect with your academic advisor. So I really hope that you all take advantage of this resource. It's going to be a really great way for you to get the basics, so that when you actually do meet with me, or if you meet with Martin or any of the other advisors, we have so many advisors at our campus who are all so excited to meet you. We can spend more time talking about you specifically and less time talking about, well, this is what this gen ed means and this is how to register for this class. We'd really like to help focus on, like, career-wise, like, what is it that you want to do? How can we help you to achieve that dream? Are there any goals or things that you'd like to accomplish while you're here in college? That's what we would love to do and to help you with. So hopefully the summer advising workshop helps to accomplish that goal.
Awesome. So thank you so much for all of you. And Leilani, thank you so much for managing the chat and giving out all of those links. So thank you. If any of you want to refer back to the links, it's in the chat. Bye, everyone. Thank you.